right now. Well, howdy, everybody. It is one of the awesome duo from the old school. I am Krista Joy 730, and we are here for one heck of a slobberknocker. Now, I know that some of you guys see my name and immediately start saying, let's root for Pain. But that is in the Zelda games. When we're talking pain in Super Mario Bros. 3, you know I am for the blessed levels of 5-9, 7-1, Start 7-5, and Atlantis, because those are absolutely so much fun. So I hope you guys are shaking all your pom-poms. You're getting yourself all ready because we are going to have one battle between CrEgg and Wake911. And I know that this is going to be awesome. Growl. Ah, woo! Good to see you again.
It is good to be here with you on the intro. How are you today?
I am doing great. And I am so happy to be co-comming with you again.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine for sure. This is an incredible race that we get to be a part of. CrEgg SMB3, who was ranked 4 going into the Challenge Cup, that's high praise right there, is taking on number 13, Wake911, in a little bit of a gruesome seed that we're going to see here. So I'm pretty excited to see what these guys can do with this.
Yes, and it appears that Wake911 may have started a little bit before, or we need to sync up the times. But we are in Pipeland. And we're starting off not with one of our typical muncher stages. Oh, man.
Wake911 trying to be a little bit gimmicky there, going after those nippers, and I think he got a little confused because he did not take a hit that he was supposed to, and then immediately took one that he didn't. So as we sync up here, you will see a little bit of a pause, and we're back.
Yes, one of the things, you have to be so careful of with some of the piranha stages, Growl, timing is everything. And I know that some people use pause buffer strats, but I say run it small, Mario, put your pedal to the metal, and beat Bowser to the door.
Absolutely, and that is a very good call out. We call World 7 the great equalizer for a lot of great reasons. I mean, there's so many pipes, so many things can happen. CrEgg and Wake both really in the same place that the other one is at this point, and I mean, we have no divergence here. These guys are doing the exact same thing. What we do know is that there's a fortress in the bottom left, I believe, that we have to go find. So these guys are going to be looking through a couple of pipes here.
We already have one of our World 8 levels. Can you imagine that?
It seems like it was meant to be in a old school match like this. We had to have something a little bit more fun. So why not start with some 8-1? CrEgg SMB3 unfortunately not able to get through. So he's going to have to try to play that again.
Yes. And that's one of the things about this particular level. If you miss just one mere jump due to button pull, or you accidentally hit one of the bullet sniper bills, that can really make a day bad for you.
Yeah, you're not joking at all. It is in answer to a question with Magoo, it is a turning flag set 2. Basically, that means the hammers will break blocks. It means there are no in-card games, and the level appearance is going to be normal. So no question marks, obviously, no hand stages, nothing like that. So both our guys are going to have to go through really the old-fashioned way, and only thing that's really going to be helping is hammers. And speaking of hammers, we've got a hammer suit on the CrEgg. That mushroom may come in handy.
Yes, what a wise decision. A lot of runners don't always go to the mushroom houses for the sake of time management. But, when you start off and you have jack a lot of nothing in terms of items, visiting a mushroom house could actually be game changing. And now we know that CrEgg does have a hammer suit, which is going to play heavily in Bowser's castle.
Absolutely. And this is one of the things that I really like, especially on the side of the Challenge Cup. We don't see it a whole lot on the side of the brackets, but the Challenge Cup, these guys like to utilize those items. And a lot of times that really puts in a lot of extra items into your inventory. So you can play that more aggressive strategy. You can go after those damage boosts. Hey, why not? You've got the damage. Go ahead and get through it. If it means either possibly getting through the level quickly and taking a little bit of damage and then just rehashing that item afterwards, do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those in chat, get your salutes out for Bowser's Air Force, because that is what Wake911 is going through right now. Rocky wrenches, tossing wrenches. It's always a good time until we get to Captain Boom Boom, and then we have to bid it all goodbye. Poor Boom Boom.
Absolutely. And we are going to extend the Air Force just a little bit longer, as we've got CrEgg currently in there as well. It does seem that that will be the fortress that breaks the lock, that will take us to the Conductor of Calamity, the one and only Ludwig von Kubak.
Yes. And what are you predicting, Growl, for Ludwig? I am hoping that Ludwig is a 5-hitting earthquake, soul-shattering Koopa Kid.
I'm going to go straight vanilla. I think, or a little bit less than vanilla, I guess. We'll go 3-hit, no earthquake, kind of get these runners off on the little bit of an easier path, as we've already got 5 minutes into World 7.
Ooh, and that Piranha stage offered a Jugum's Cloud, which we know always comes in handy.
Absolutely. Some of the prime items we're going to be looking for are obviously that Jugum Cloud that you just mentioned. The Hammer Brothers suit going to be huge when it comes to Bowser's Castle. And then hammers. I mean, we have a lot left to play. 2, 3, 6 prime places for the hammers to be used. Even 4 could have an option if there's a level like 7.5, 5.9 Atlantis that's in the right space. You could break that rock to go around it and can carry on without having to play something really nasty. So come to see, we'll have to wait and see what happens with those hammers, because that will be huge.
Yes, and on Wake911's side, he did topple over a very, very weak American Idol reject Ludwig. I can't believe it. It hurts so hard. Meanwhile, CrEgg is now duking it out. The one good thing about this Ludwig is that he was high jumping. But other than that, we absolutely had nothing. And now we're in Giant World.
One of my personal favorites when I was a kid. I loved the big monsters, the big blocks. I just thought it was great. And now, okay, it looks like not a terrible level for Wake to start with, but going to have to be a little careful here.
Absolutely, because those giant enemies just ignore any type of you. They will just steam right all over you.
Yeah, you're not kidding. These guys do not wait for anything, anybody, or anyone, and their hitboxes are weird too. One of the very fortunate things. Oh, unfortunate.
You just mentioned about hitboxing.
Yeah, I said it, and it happened. Commentator's curse, I suppose. But now with that, we have a near sync-up between our two runners.
Yes. And that is exactly what we like to see, especially in Game 1, because it gets you, really hyped up for what Game 2 is going to offer.
Absolutely, and really sets up for a good chance at a Game 3. This was actually CrEgg's pick. So CrEgg was the one that pulled up this flag set 2, and of course Wake's going to have another chance. You really hope that that goes to the runner. So ideally, it goes to 3, because both players play to their strengths. We have 12 options for our runners to choose from. So there's all kinds of things that you can include. Hammers break locks, hammers don't break locks, the game includes end cards, the game doesn't include end cards, so on and so forth. So it's a lot of really good options for our runners.
Yes. No doubt about it. And of course, you're going to want to exploit your enemy. I always believe in knowing a little bit about who you're playing against. That way you can pull the flag set that's going to be their, Achilles heel.
Well, going a little bit old school here, but Sun Tzu's Art of War talks about knowing your enemy is half the battle. So absolutely, that's a very good call out, that if we have knowledge of the opponent, in this case CrEgg pulling what he knows as his strength, maybe he saw something on Wake's side that maybe thought, hey, he relies on those end cards, let's take that away.
Absolutely. You know, because in cards can make or break a rando seed, honestly. I actually commentated a seed where the in cards offered Jugum Clouds, P Wings, and Hammers. And that was absolutely heartbreaking for me as a member of, Team Pain Train. But it was fantastic for the runners. I mean, they literally they had everything they needed, short of a hammer suit.
Oh, for sure. We actually had one just posted the other day from Stewie Cartman in our Try This chat. It was a 21-minute seed the first playthrough because of the end card. It gave like double hammers and double clouds. I mean, when you get that, you're skipping worlds at that point, not just levels.
Absolutely, especially if you get a free world, which we know certain, worlds can offer. So imagine being able literally to break a lock and go right to, the castle for that stage. That is absolutely mind blowing.
Oh, for sure. And if we have hammers breaking locks, there's a really good chance that a World 3 could have a pipe early that could take you to Wendy. And if that's the case, hammer breaks lock, boom, you're done. That's it.
Yes. Not only that, if you stack a lot of hammers, there's the old famous double hammer strat just to get you out of that initial entryway corner. Just go out and then that'll lead you to glory.
Absolutely. And I've always wondered, there are a lot of rocks in this game and not a whole lot of hammers. And it almost seems like, and this is a huge conspiracy theory, so just bear with me here, but it almost seems like this game was meant to be randomized.
Yeah. Another Jugum Cloud. And, the one thing with Wake, we need to kind of keep mindful is that Wake is working on 2 stars, so there's always that risk of fanfare if muscle memory kicks in and you just speed run it and get the star.
I am so sorry to have interrupted there. CrEgg just got a hammer.
Oh. Ooh, that does make things interesting.
I don't think I saw Wake take it. I don't know that he fought that hammer brother. I think he tried to avoid those as much as he can, and I think CrEgg got a hammer that we didn't see on Wake's side.
And remember that CrEgg also has the Hammer Brothers suit as well, which is an item that Wake did not pick up as he did not go into the Mushroom House.
Okay, looks like we do have the hammer on Wake's side, so that is going to be a balance, but you're absolutely right. We have 6 worlds to go, but there is no guarantee that our runners are going to get a hammer.
And what a time to be Raccoon Mario. We are in Fort Knox, everybody.
And both runners having a tail, that is incredible. Wake having just a little bit of problem targeting where that tunnel was, or that pipe was, but both now into the fight with Boom Boom, and seconds later, it'll be over.
Absolutely. Oh man, that you don't even know how much time that saved.
Oh, absolutely. One of the longest fortresses in the game if you don't have a big Mario. Even worse if you're small Mario.
Oh yeah, because then you need 2 power-ups. And to get the Tanuki suit, and that is just a huge time sink. Also, the ship that we have here is Morton's ship, World 2's airship. So, hey, we had Larry's airship. I wonder if we're gonna get Wendy's airship in the next level.
Speaking of, chat, get your guesses in. Which world are we going to next?
Yes, chat, and remember, 6 gang is where it is at. Let's get frosty.
I gotta go to the land of water. We're going 3 here. Wake having just a little bit of issue with Morton there.
Well, Iggy's big head has been known to hitbox people like crazy, and he smacked Iggy right in the head a couple of times in that sweet spot, right where you get hitboxed.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. Iggy with his weird hitbox, you're absolutely right. It just gets infuriating for our runners. Interestingly, on the side of CrEgg, Tower was the first level, so there's going to be 2 levels that are just not required, and he's going to play it again. He liked it so much.
I wonder, you know what? I want to say he's going to cloud that. Or, nope. He...
No, with there only being 2 levels afterwards, there's not going to be
Yeah.
anything that builds the bridge. So he's going to have to go through this tower, which is unfortunate because the tower is not a terribly conducive level. If you don't have the star, the fire flower, and can get that peace speed strat right off the bat, this level is not easy.
And one of the things that, you know, I love to see is the Blue Palace. And you always wonder, when the Blue Palace is downstairs and not upstairs, will it actually be a thing? Imagine if a blue lock is blocking something and you have to go all the way back downstairs to go conquer it.
Oh, absolutely. It's infuriating for sure. And that's why a lot of runners will ascribe to the see a fort, play a fort for that reason specifically. You waste so much more time having to go all the way back, just like you said. And it looks like, I mean, he's going to... Okay, he's thinking about it here. I'd be surprised if he doesn't play this. Okay, he's going to not play it and take his chances on the top. He's going to see if that blue is required or not. Krista, commentator's curse, maybe?
But he was refunded his hammer. The only thing is, if, you know, oh, and look, Blue Fort is our favorite, the Escalator of Shame Fort.
So this is interesting. I didn't even think about this at the beginning. CrEgg is going to be playing World 1 Fortress here, which is definitely possible. This fortress would build the bridge. There is no blue lock this time. So that heads-up play from CrEgg is going to put him in the lead extremely well. There's a bro for you on the side of Wake, but CrEgg's going to be really far ahead at this point because of that heads-up play. He used the hammer to break the lock, and then knowing that information... Oh, I'm completely wrong. Wake actually just broke the lock with the blue castle. So it wasn't a blue lock to begin with.
You know, we need to issue a complaint to Fred. How could you, Fred?
The blue lock broke the gold, or the blue fort broke the gold lock, and the fortress upstairs built the bridge. Yeah, I need a reseed on this.
Yes, this is too easy. I say re-roll it. Let's give him something with, you know, fixed items, no additional lives, as penance for this baby seed.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh, Wake got sniped with a hammer in the head.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was the wrong one for him to be dealing with. But look at that inventory. We've got 3 clouds and 2 hammers on the side of Wake. Not using that hammer here, was that a heads-up play? He didn't use the hammer. He didn't break the lock. He played 1 fort, broke the lock, headed upstairs. Now he's got 3 clouds, 2 hammers. He is gearing up for the second half of this race.
Yes, very, very astute inventory management. You know, because... like I said, there is that double rock break strategy in World 3 Oceanside, and on top of that, they do break locks. You know, we have more lock breaking opportunities, and well, Roy was not our boy. What is with these lackluster?
We're just saving them for the second half. It's all good. But chat, before we get there, what are we going to next? We've had 5, 4, and 7 so far. What's next?
I'm going 6 gang. 6 gang. I have to stay true to the ice.
Absolutely.
It's gotta get frosty. And it's World 3. How humiliating. Unfrosted ice.
That's all right. We'll have 6 here before too long, and we'll see if one of these pipes does take us to the land of Windy. Okay, CrEgg deciding he's going to go ahead and play a 4th, or at least a Boomerang Brother. That's all we know for sure.
And we have CrEgg opting not to take the fire flower.
I find that interesting. I think he's more comfortable with the tail, and honestly, a little bit of a controlled fall in a lot of places really does help. So having that tail in a randomizer, not a bad option. I don't blame him there.
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of the fire flower. That way you get the easy peasy fire kills. And, we were just in the door 3 fort. I will not call it door 6. Because, door 3 is where it's at, right, Growl?
Absolutely. Go big or go home.
Exactly. Exactly. You could tell that I am a student of Teeks 88. Because that he lives for door 3. And so far, Wake is going to see the disappointment in a... Well, no, Roy was our boy. It was 5. Oh man, how did I miss that? I thought Roy was a little bit weaker than that. Then I'm sorry, Roy. You did your job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff going on, even for just 2 runners. There's so much going on, and I missed it too. I thought it was only a couple as well. But 5-hitter Roy with Earthquake, that's what's up.
All right, and we have on CrEgg's side, we're going to see what item we're going to get.
Yeah, I love this item management, this aggressive strategy to go for these. It has paid off so well so far. So many clouds, so many hammers have been coming out. And I'm very curious what CrEgg's doing here. There's a second pipe. I don't know that he's picked.
We have the Forgotten Fort on CrEgg's side, in which kind of sniped away one of his beloved, power-ups, which got sniped again.
Okay, so it looks like Wake911 is starting to figure out this path. So we know where the pipe is, roughly. It's going to be in the middle where we can't see yet, because all 3 of these pipes are basically interconnected. The one for the one he was just in is all the way to the right. So we're looking at like 3-6, 3-7, 3-8. Somewhere in there is where the last pipe is going to be for Wendy's Castle. So yeah, CrEgg has an open way. All he needs to do now at this point is just get through the Boomerang Brother, and he's on his way to Wendy.
And for those who were hoping that the anchor would be worth something, sorry to disappoint you. I'll play you a sad trombone. Wah, wah, wah. It's only a mushroom.
Yeah, not a terribly bad item, but also not a great item. It's very neutral, whatever.
And we have CrEgg going for one of the command endings. Let's go.
Do it for the memes or don't do it at all. Oh,
You wasted a Tanuki suit command ending. Oh, the pain is real, Growl.
the pain is very real, but going for a little bit more aggressive. Must have heard us talking about having a tail instead of fire flowers. Like, you know what? Maybe I will. I don't know.
See, I was thinking, you stick with the Tanuki suit, potentially get the off-screen grab, that also helps save some time. And we get the command ending. Poopa Loopa. And we have one of our great runners, Animus, in there, who calls the Tanuki suit the Care Bear suit, Growl.
I don't hate it. I mean, it kind of makes sense, all in all.
Well, he does turn into stone. I guess you could say, Care Bear, stare! And then it backfires, causing you to turn into stone. I'll sign off on it. Let's go.
No, there you go. All right, Wake911 into his fight with Wendy, who is a 2-hitter, so barely more than a side solid. I guess you get a small fry with that. Not sure here. But Wendy, not that big of a deal, and World 2 coming up next.
Yes, and now we have one of our great World 4 stages. One that I don't particularly care for because I always miss an input and then I just, kind of fall.
Oh, for sure. Easy to do in a game like this. I mean, it's one thing that I always have to constantly remind myself is that it's a 30-year-old game. and still holding up to the test of time. Wonderful game, still in my top 3 favorite of all time. And Randomizer just makes it so much better. The graphics are great, the gameplay is great. Sometimes you miss an input.
Yes, and that hurts so hard, especially if you're using P-Speed to do a wide jump and you miss that input, you just run off. And oh, look at this, 3-8. How you doing, buddy?
Diesel has a pretty good point here. If Wake goes after, 5-3, not going to be favorable for Wake. But if he were to take one of the hammers at the beginning, he could use that pipe to skip 2 levels. If you go after the rock next, you skip several more levels and you'd be directly at the fortress. Probably going to be one of the closest that we see to a free world in this seed, but we'll have to wait and see for sure.
Yeah, it all depends on how he chooses to use the combo of the Jugum Cloud, hammer strats, and just worrying about trying to get out as fast as possible, because you have to say at this point you're at the 25-minute mark, you're in in this tournament alongside a lot of strong runners, so you always play like you're behind, so it's extra aggressive. But the one thing Wake did do that I do agree with is get that fanfare.
Absolutely, especially going into World 8 here soon. The extra lives is going to be extremely helpful as you pick and choose which levels you want to play, more or less. Another hammer on the side of CrEgg does mean that there's no shortage of hammers here. The aggressive play is definitely the right one, I think.
Yes, I mean, you basically have everything in your hand right now. You have Jugum Clouds, you have hammers, you just go in there, you start breaking everything, and this is an invalid seed, Growl.
Invalid seed. I mean, we already had a question about it. We're going to have to, write to whoever rolled the seed and tell them they can't do that anymore. Because that was terrible. That was absolutely terrible.
Yes. Oh, man. Diesel, were you behind this?
No, I was.
It was you, Growl? Oh no, I was blaming Diesel.
Oh, no. It was definitely my fault. I rolled this madness.
Oh no, it's invalid. That means we have to get a reroll. We need something, a little harder. This is way too easy for our runners.
Maybe we'll get you to roll the next one, and we'll make it extremely complicated for him. And Zero Wing is going to write me an angry letter, so I will anticipate that greatly, and we'll write back something with a gauntlet throw. I don't know. I said good day, sir!
See, Zero is a big fan of chaos. Absolute chaos. He is a member of Team Pain Train. So when we see easy peasy lemon squeezy seeds, we just break down.
So I think Wake needs to get a little bit more chaotic here. I think we need to write him an angry letter. Use something other than Jay, because apparently that was my angry letter, and I read it very atrociously. But I think Wake needs to get very mad here. He's got 3 levels to go. You've got 1 and 6. 6 has some great places for locks and for clouds to come out. You've got World 1, which may or may not need it. And then World 8, if you have a hammer, fine. If not, that's probably even better, because the chances of something in World 8 being necessary for a hammer, not great. So go ahead, play as fast as you can. Get to World 8 as quickly as you can. As long as you're in World 8 first, you have more time.
6 gang in World 6. Oh, this is vanilla.
Yeah, we definitely need a reroll. I mean, there have been a lot of vanilla and French vanilla flavored levels here so far. I feel like you guys haven't got your money's worth. You wanted a randomizer, and we gave you basically a French vanilla game.
Yeah. See, I'm not going to blame you. I have someone else that I can blame, and he knows who he is in the audience.
I was going to say, if it's Diesel, we got to take it easy on him. He has done a lot of really good things for us today, so I'll take the blame.
No, it's not. It's not Diesel. It's a certain person. in chat who knows who they are. Yeah, we're gonna
Oh,
blame
snap.
Animus for that.
We are calling people out here, folks.
Yes, yes. And we have a boss bass. Oh, this is beautiful. And it is a bit of a time sink for CrEgg.
So this is interesting. CrEgg played the 6F3, and now Wake has not played that. So if that fortress is not required, Wake just took the lead.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm thinking that... No, we do not blame Fred, chat. Fred is very, very good at what he does. And I still have to sweet talk him into making that Elden Ring type SMB3 seed.
Yeah, anybody that we tease from the commentator booth, we like you very much, which is why we feel comfortable with doing that. So please do not take any offense by it. We love you all.
Yes.
Okay, what a play from Wake911. There's no bridge leading to that 2 panel in the middle of the beginning. So, oh my goodness, that's it.
It was free. Oh
Free with
no.
1 hammer. What a play.
This is exactly everything that could happen in Rando. Rando be Rando. And unfortunately, CrEgg is going to be on behind the 8 ball right now with this.
Absolutely. He is snookered up. He is hooked. He is behind the 8 ball and has no shot. He needs to get away from these fortresses. Go use one of those hammers that he's got. I think we've seen 3 or 4 on both sides so far. Use the hammers you've got. You rolled this. You know that the hammers break locks. Break those locks.
Yeah. And remember, Wake still has all of his, you know, I think 99% of the hammers, and I know has 100% of the Jugum Clouds. And now that we know that World 1 is going to be our last level, you know what? This is going to break very quickly for Wake. Literally, Jugum Cloud out of whatever, you know, level you need to break the lock. And yeah.
So CrEgg has opted to play a fortress here for the 3rd time. World 6 had all 3 fortresses normally like it does, and he's played all 3 of them. Unfortunately, has not broken the lock or the rock that will take him directly to Lemmy's castle. This is extremely concerning, I think, for CrEgg. And Wake911, I don't know if he realizes that hammers break locks.
Yeah, because I would have just jugumed out of that stage and then broke the lock. Oh no.
Yeah, 1-5, skip that.
Well, the guess was a good guess, so we're looking at double Jugum Cloud, take on the Hammer Brother, or you know, let it take a nap. And now we had basically a free World 1 growl.
Okay, I think I mismanaged that. So Wake did not get as many hammers as I thought. Zero Wing is amazing for keeping me honest on comms. So Wake doesn't have any more hammers because he only had those 2 up front. 1 was used in 2 at the rock, which was great because he played 2 levels, one of which was 5-3, so about a wash there, not a big deal. But it did tighten it up, so he was within 17 seconds, Diesel Pilot said. And then the second hammer was used in World 6, so the 2 hammers he had put him a world ahead.
Harry doing what he does best, which is disappoint us all, is a one-hitter.
CrEgg is going to need to figure out how to get through World 6 very quickly, because if he keeps playing through these levels, that's just more and more time that Wake is going to have in World 8, and this is going to be over soon. So chat, get your guesses in now, because we're going to get a very quick Bowser here in just a moment if this doesn't change. What are your guesses for Bridges to Bowser?
I'm for all chaos, -1.
I was expecting you to say 4, was not expecting the -1, but well played.
I I changed up. You know, I am normally 4 bridges. I am. But -1 just seems like so much fun.
Hey, it sounds good. I'm gonna go with 1. We'll make the whatever that is, the inverse. There we go. But CrEgg finally finding where Lemmy is, but that's already Wake into World 8.
Yeah, and the one good thing is I think CrEgg has 1 hammer.
Well, we're going to wait and see if it is useful here, because that may be his last chance. World 1, if he does have it, could be a very good opportunity for it as well.
Yeah, because if he has that 1 hammer, Jugum Cloud, hammer, Jugum, castle.
Yeah, at this point, the guys in the chat were talking about, you have it, you use it. You can't take it to game 2. It doesn't work like that. You don't get a full inventory of P-Wings. I mean, there's a lot there. And if the pipe to Bowser is going to be anywhere, it may be on the top right side of the dark room. And that may be enough for him to utilize a hammer there. So we'll see.
Jugum, hammer, Jugum. There we go.
I like
and we're good to go.
I like that a lot better. If you use that play here, you're guaranteeing that you know where things are. You take the P-Wing, you're going to blow through World 3's Air Force real quick, and now it's a fight with Larry, who was like a 1, maybe 2 hit, and you're going to be into World 8 as well. So if you can play a little bit more aggressive, play something he's not, you've got this.
Yeah, you know, because that's exactly, if you've got that hammer, you know, and with the off-screen grab, that also helps, you know, chip away at that time. But, you know, Wake had a better routing, you know, to get back the lead. You know, he basically came from behind, said, "This is mine," even though the hand says not today.
Little interested to see that Wake is playing this, but we have seen such a consistent, powerful run from Wake so far. It hasn't been glitzy, glamorous, anything like that. I mean, World 6 was huge. World 1 came out of it. I mean, just not a lot in the first half. And now he finds himself ahead, and he's not going to have to worry about this hand stage anymore.
Wow, somebody's taking the bottom path in the troll fort. That's okay. You know, it's always good to play it safe.
Absolutely. And if you need that item, or even just a reprieve out of the fortress, it's a really good way to do that. And now both of our runners into the exact same fort. Once again, we are so tight. This game ain't over.
Nope. It's literally, you know, it keeps you clenching. And now we did hear something, but what is the question? And more likely than not, CrEgg probably will take the 100 coin penalty and try again, hope to bypass the hand stage, which is not gonna happen. Woo boy!
That makes you wonder, was it worth just playing through the level? It's 1-2, it's one you know well. CrEgg gonna go ahead and do just that.
Yeah. And this stage's enemy set is actually kind of not cool.
I was thinking the word was terrifying.
No! I can never say something like that. No. Nothing ever scares me. Yeah, that's totally it.
Is that how you get through it? You just tell yourself it's okay?
Yeah.
Because I might have to try that next time.
Oh no. It was a free ride to Bowser Town. Uh-oh.
Well, it looked like there was one bridge that was required, and now 6F2 is going to be a gatekeeper, so he is going to have to go through that for the routing purposes. But yeah, this game is almost over, and right now Wake has the lead. So CrEgg either has to get extremely lucky here and immediately find the path to Bowser, but he also has to hope that Wake will fail in the Bowser fight. So we'll see.
Now, one thing that has just happened to CrEgg is the fact that, well, he lost his raccoon suit, which, you know, for the flying ice stage always comes in handy. But let's see how Wake does with his clips, you know?
Absolutely, and a fire flower is not an easy way to take down Bowser, but it's not the worst. So this could be interesting for sure.
Yeah, it all comes down now. If CrEgg is to snipe this, it is going to be... I don't foresee that happening, honestly. But you never know. Because a fireball could come out of nowhere. Snipe
Yeah,
the
you're
fire
absolutely right.
flower. But we're about to have barbecue turtle.
It's almost there. It is.
Alright, chat, get your GGs out for Wake911, who does take round 1.
Absolutely incredible. What a race. That inventory management we talked about early on came out to be the winning ticket for Wake911. Just an incredible play. I mean, that's all it came down to. The routing was there. Studied the map, knew exactly what he wanted. I really appreciate how he took a little bit more time in maps like 3 and 6 and looked at the map and saw what is it that I need to do it with that rock. Perfect play, perfect option to go ahead and use the hammer there, perfect option to use the clouds in the next world. I mean, he was playing to end with 0 items in his inventory, and I think he was probably pretty close to that. So now we've got CrEgg with a P-Wing, which is very nice. Decides to take just a little bit of a detour to let the dry bones despawn. Definitely a good way to do that. Could have flown under the stage here and come out over here, but not really a strat that a lot of people will use. Definitely dangerous depending on what monster you have there, or enemy, I suppose. But that's okay. CrEgg, nonetheless, is still into the fight with Boom Boom, and being just a few minutes behind Wake911 will be CrEgg coming into his fight with Bowser.
Absolutely. And, you know, if that superior routing did not happen in the Free Windy Palace for Wake911, it probably could have gone a lot different.
Absolutely. You look at a couple places like World 2, if CrEgg had kept his hammer, he wouldn't have played 5. Well, he would have played 5-3, and he would have played the other one that Wake had played, but that would have probably prevented him from having to play all those other levels in World 2, but he did get another hammer for that. So, I mean, I think really World 3 and World 6 were the two big ones that swayed completely into Wake's favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, CrEgg eventually got the mac and cheese clip to, you know, kind of walk in like a smooth criminal with his hammers, tosses a couple of hammers, knocks Bowser in the noggin, and get your GGs in chat for CrEgg!
And the official times for both of our runners on this race was 39:39 from Wake911. So nice, we had to name it twice. And then CrEgg SMB3 coming in at a time of 42:21. So both of our runners putting on outstanding performances, just absolutely incredible. I personally cannot wait for game 2.
No, I can't either.
And we, of course, will be getting that set up here in just moments. Certainly, GG's in chat for our runners at any given point. Because if you like the show, definitely show them that you appreciate it. I mean, we do this all for fun, all volunteer. Everybody on screen, off screen that works behind the scenes do a lot of really good things to put this on. So if you do like it, definitely shout them out, go follow them, show the love.
Yes, our runners deserve lots of love because it's just so much fun. And okay. Let me get in there.
Well, it didn't love the way that I copied and pasted that from before, and I'm not sure the runner command is working at the moment. But there you go. Wake911, CrEgg SMB3. Do go follow them. They put on a lot of really good content, a lot of SMB3 runs, especially during the whole of... All right, so we have official confirmation that the bots are taking the weekend off. I do not blame them at all. Totally understand. That's totally cool. But the links are still there. Do go follow them. It's super easy, super quick. You can right-click, open a new tab, and there you go. Well, if you're on a browser. But anyway, go show the love. We'll be here.
Are you ready? Growl. Just let me know when you want me to roll, and then we will have some fun. Yay!
Yeah, I think we're ready.
All right. To our runners, good luck. All right. As usual, if this is a baby seed, I will play a penalty like I always do.
All right, so it looks like Krista has just rolled the seed. It's going to be a gnarly one because it has a lot of twos in it. At least that's what I'm going to assume. But this is going to be interesting. So Wake911 has opted to really just play a duplicate of what he had just done, and that's the tourney bracket set. He's not going to use any hammers on locks because they're not going to work. So hammers break rocks, no end card, and normal level appearance. This is going to be interesting. This is probably the closest to warpless that we see in the randomizer. We'll be getting the runners started here in just a moment. So if you need popcorn, more coffee, water, soda, whatever the case may be, definitely get those. And we will be getting started here in just a moment. And we will get right back to the race action.
Yes, make sure you stay hydrated.
All right, our runners are going to be getting set up here and good to go in just a moment. We are getting set up on the commentary booth. My coffee has been refilled and it is time to go. So our runners will be starting here just as soon as they get back.
Yeah, I've got my bottle of water here to keep hydrated because that's exactly what we need about now, especially over here in Florida where it's 95 degrees, but it feels like 190.
I'm pretty sure the term for that there's like a term for it in the meteorology, whatever, in the meteorology. Isn't that what they call a nope?
Yeah, that's a oh hey nope. I mean, it's pretty bad over here, and I just feel for the people that are in the theme parks because usually when it hits this high, it's gonna start downpouring.
Well, we are here where it is nice and cool, hopefully inside wherever you are. But the races are getting hot, hot, hot. The races starting here in just a second. So get your guesses in. Chat, what do you think?
All right, you know the dream. It's called You Haven't Been to Texas or Arizona Yet. Actually have. The difference is you guys have dry heat. We have humid heat, which is absolutely murderous. In Texas, Growl, you fry eggs on the sidewalk.
Yes, and there's definitely reasons I do not live in either of those places because I'm a big boy and I don't like the heat. All right, we are off and running with a vanilla start. We've got World 1.
Well, I called it in chat. Knowing me, it would be vanilla.
Well, we'll have to wait just a few moments and see if our runners will hold to that and if the seed is going to be a vanilla all the way through. Both runners in sync. The only difference is one big, one small.
Yes. And
And just like that, we're going to need a reroll over here because we've got a World 1 Fortress in World 1. I want my money back.
I done goofed. I done goofed. Oh, I am so sorry, chat. I have disappointed you, and I will, I will play a punishment seed. Yikes. Because this year is too easy.
Well, I think what this means is that we need to just have a game 3. I mean, that's what I'm hearing here.
Yes. That's exactly what it means.
So unfortunate with World 1 Fortress being right there, that is not going to do anything because, of course, World 1 Fortress cannot be route required. It cannot be a bridge builder that takes you to the castle. It can't be a lock breaker unless it can be completed some other way. So if there's like you break the lock and it lets you go straight through, or you go all the way around, that's still fine. It may suck, but it's still fine. So, of course, our runners are going to have to play just a little bit more. That other fortress will go down, so will the lock, and now on to where World 1's 5 normally would be.
And I guess CrEgg is playing a little more conservatively because no mushroom house visit.
Interesting to see, especially with his aggressiveness towards the items last game. I wonder if he was pushing his luck to see if he could get those hammers, which he did, as well as that hammer suit. Maybe early on he's thinking, nah, I'm good for now.
I never sleep on anything because I always believe that Murphy's Law always applies. It never fails.
Yeah, you are not wrong about that, especially in this SMB3 randomizer. Fortune favors the bold until it doesn't.
Yes. And when you consider what my favorite stages are, we're talking Atlantis, 7-5, with max enemies going crazy. 6-6.
Hey, might as well just get them all in there.
Yeah, and 5-9. you gotta always have some extra items because 9 out of 10 times you're gonna die.
Oh yeah, taking that early exit is crucial to, like, if you have another path. Now, if it's the first level, it's the first level, and you gotta play it.
Yeah, I did happen to roll a great seed with, a wonderful 7-5 max enemy start.
Ew.
It was glorious. Oh man, I loved it. It was great times. Good times and fun.
That's awesome. So now into World 6 Airship, we have CrEgg with the tail, and Wake911 who has neither, but he may go for a clip here. We'll see if he gets it. Just kidding. On the bracket side, though, we have CrEgg SMB3 taking on Wake911 here, obviously. The winner will go on to the quarterfinals and will await the winner of CrEgg 57 and Magoo is Adorable. So another couple of really good racers there. These guys are good. I know this is the Challenge Cup side, and a lot of times it's like, oh, Challenge Cup, okay, whatever. No. We have a bracket set that shows how good some of our runners are. And then we have a Challenge Cup that shows how good our runners are. These guys are incredible, and it's always a great time. I mean, there's some really great talent over on the side of the Challenge Cup as well. And it just really shows how good these guys are. I mean, I challenge you, if you've never played this before, try it. Just try it once. The first time I ever played this took me 2.5 hours. These guys are great.
That'll be about right for me. And see, knowing my luck, I would draw the likes of Mitch Flower Power, and then it should turn into how many games can Mitch finish before I get out of World 1. And I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. It's long, but it's fun.
It is a good time for sure. And both of our runners off to a great start so far. CrEgg having to deal with a boss bass here. It's been a while since we've seen a boss bass hold, and this is not an easy level to have boss bass on. So
this is one of the worst levels. The only good thing about it is that he was able to elude boss bass being Small Mario due to that one little box difference. So it wasn't within the hitbox for boss bass to eat him, and he was too short.
Well, all it took was for us to talk about it because Wake just got gulped there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because he was Big Mario. So he had the extra little oomph to get him right there in that hitbox for boss bass to munch him.
He's going to need to be careful.
Now, the problem with Wake in this case is that it was a gift boss bass the first time. Now boss bass is actually at a level where Small Mario can be eaten.
Yeah, Wake is in trouble. He's got to be very careful here. Be very smart with the blocks that he has on Big Boss Bass. But all right, I think he's got his number. Inbound tilt still possible, but I'm sure hopeful that he can get through this without any more issues here.
Sniper Paragoomba decided to say, "I'm gonna make you small again."
No big deal. He was extremely precise in those jumps at the end, and that's normally something we see from somebody just trying to get through the level. And for him to do that was huge. I think another loss of life there would have been a big problem for him. But he's still in it. He's a couple levels behind, and it's still early. It doesn't matter until Bowser finally falls.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Now, here's a time sink on CrEgg's side. I think it was a matter of muscle memory, because I know with 6 lives, you're not wanting to get a 5 up. On CrEgg's side, Growl, it's double hammers and a Tanuki suit.
I mean, what a way to start. World 5, World 1 so far, neither really great places for those hammers. If we have another similar World 6 to last time, or even a World 2, that rock was still very much a good option. And all the rocks were, I think, in the last time. So even like World 3, not so much. I mean, you had a pipe that took you right over there, but the hammers are still going to be a valuable item, and having 2 so far, not a bad thing.
Not at all. And CrEgg got through the lava fort like a piece of cake.
Wake is playing parkour through his as he's got the star and does a swirl type jump. I think it's supposed to be like a Metroid Prime thing. I don't know, but maybe a little throwback to Samus there. We'll see.
Hey, I like it. And we have a decent play on Wake's side in getting that fanfare, as he was running a little bit low on life. And Roy, this time, Growl, Roy was not our boy. It was not 5 hits.
No, absolutely not, but unfortunate.
I know, and he wasn't even Earthquake. It's like, Roy, get good, man, get good. But CrEgg is going to play this more aggressive than ever, because this is a case of, you know, I've got to win this if I want to stay in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot riding for both of our runners, especially, like you said, I mean, CrEgg, this is a back-to-the-wall situation, has to get through it. And, I mean, your future is in your hands at this point.
Yes, and both runners will be coming into Fort Knox without a suit, which is going to require time sinks on both sides, because Wake only has Big Mario, which Big Mario cannot catch air.
He's got some pretty good jumps, but no flight pattern, that's for sure. So now CrEgg in with the Boom Boom fight. Now I'm playing with power on the side of Wake911, so he'll be ducking out of that real quick before he figures out what that means.
You know, Growl, that we need to have a Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer tournament played with Power Glove controls.
That sounds terrifying and amazing.
That's why I think we need to have this happen, you know? Just have a convenient, everybody looking at, you know, using the Power Glove, and they will be playing with power. There will be no denying that.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. That might be something that takes us a little while. Maybe we'll do a best of one.
Best of one?
And that's only if you make it through. If you forfeit, that doesn't count.
No, you gotta finish it, man. There is no escaping it.
So CrEgg having a little bit of a problem with 6-6 here, but he is so far so good.
Yeah, a pretty tame enemy sip for this particular level. I've seen 6-6s that were a lot worse.
Yeah, for sure. And so far, so good. It looks like he's going to be able to get through here hopefully quickly. That Paragoomba obviously not being nice to him. The cheap not going to be a factor, and Paragoomba does not get up in time. So that will be the end for Super Mario CrEgg. And now Tanuki Wake is on his way through. No, he's going to be Super Mario as well. Okay, we're going to play this game with a Pong paddle controller.
I'd sponsor that. That just sounds awful, so I co-sign on that 100%.
I think we need to find an anything but regular controller. So any of the gaming controllers for PS4 or Xbox or any of those don't count. You got to get something else.
Oh, look what it is! It's my favorite level! Yay! On CrEgg's side.
Yes. 7.5. It's about time. I think it's about time. We've had a lot of really tame levels so far. Now we're 13 minutes into World 3. I think that's pretty good. Make our runners fight for it this time.
Yeah, the only thing is, though, this is oddly not full of enemies.
Yeah, not yet, but we'll see. There's usually something on the back half. We'll see how terrifying that gets for our runners.
And I'm all for having 6, 6, 7, 5. Now we just need them to finish 7, 5 small, and then we can give them 7, 1 as the next level.
I'm on board. I'm here for that.
Yeah, no clips for you.
And we have a near sync up now yet again between these two runners. I mean, we've talked about it time and time again. These guys are good, and we are seeing that here in play heavily.
Yeah, and the fact that they're small and having to play this particular level, there are several clips that they are actually missing out on that they would normally be able to do as grown Mario with his big boy pants on.
Absolutely. I mean, there's several clips that they're at the end with that coin bridge. There's a clip earlier on where you can clip through the wall and go into that big room. A lot of really good options, and even a tail. I think a tail is probably my personal favorite going into 7.5 with, because that really opens you up for a lot of plays that you normally would have never had.
Very, very true. Very true. And we have some Dora the Explorer action going by both runners.
Yeah, I think I'm with Animus on that one. 7.5, not really that big of a concern. I mean, not when we had a 6.10 earlier that really made it hard on Wake911, and for him to come all the way back from that really shows the prowess of our runners. So very well done so far.
Yeah, Animus, I'm really sad that my 7.5 was so disappointing. It really needed to get good, so I'm going to be sending it to boot camp so that way it can muscle up and then be tough for the next set.
I'm very interested to see what happens here. We haven't seen it in Atlantis yet. We've got 8-2 for the second time, and I'm almost a little surprised that neither of our runners took a diversion and went towards that pipe towards the top. I mean, have we seen the pipes yet? Have they gone after it?
Well, they've entered, but nothing substantive, though. Hey, we're back in World 8.
I am interested to see what happens here with the pipe situation, because if it's not substantive, then that really doesn't help our runners all that much.
Hey, we have a little bit of divergence, Growl. Because Wake died, he is opting to play World 5. Oh, a nice World 5 level. Very pleasant.
Yeah, pretty easy one. 5-1 is not a terribly complicated level. I know a lot of runners will take the P on a normal speed run, and they'll go straight up to do the secret exit there. But really not a bad one. You go up one side, down the other, and out the level you go.
Okay, and then we had the quick check by CrEgg to see if hammers breaks locks, and they don't. So we're going to be using it on that rock there for a skip of one level.
Yeah, and it looks like both runners will do that. I think that's a little interesting. You've only got the two. Well, I think CrEgg may have 3 hammers now, and if that's the case, then he still has 2 for a possible World 3 skip at the beginning. But World 7F2, that's also got to be one of the favorites up there, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, it's our favorite level, the Piranha Fort! Growl, who do you predict is in the Tunnel of Love this time in our favorite fort?
This has become a spicy seed so far. I gotta go with 2 Fire Bros.
Let's go! So we're gonna be shooting some fire.
It seems like a lot of fire boys so far, and now both our guys right there. All right, looks like one of each.
Oh, we got the hybrid.
But both guys just in sync right now. I mean, this has been a terribly complicated World 6, and both guys are just neck and neck at this point.
Yeah, and we got some hot feet action going on with a hot foot that did not adhere to normal mechanics, taking away CrEgg's Big Mario and putting them both on equal footing as Small Mario.
All right, so now it's got to be time for, I think, 7-6 or 7-1 here.
Yeah, we do need a nice 7-1.
All right, but not going to be a factor as both our runners are going to be able to skip with that pipe. And that is going to be the end of World 6. Probably one of the more complicated World 6s and linear World 6s. We have been in this world for, what, 7 minutes now?
Yeah. Just about. Yeah, about 7.5 to 8 minutes, yeah.
I mean, our runners have been in just a terribly complicated spot because we are at World 3 and have been here for quite a while now. So, I mean, we're looking at 20 minutes before either of these guys can possibly get through the fight with Lemmy, and they will both do so within just seconds of each other. So get your guesses into chat for the next world.
You know, and CrEgg missed out on another command ending. I feel denied.
I'm with you, Animus. I am absolutely with you. This has been a crazy good race. I think CrEgg is salty about some of the losses from last time. Brackets, I think, plays to both of their strengths. This has been a great seed so far and a great race set. I'm hoping for 3. I hope for 3.
Me too, you know. And we have Pipe World. So those who guessed level 7 or put up a piranha or anything, you guys are winners. What do you win? Absolutely nothing. But you have pride. There you go.
This is interesting. There is one fortress and one bridge. So even if it were a Hammers Break lock set, it still just wouldn't matter. You still have to go find that fortress, which we now have. Door 3 fort. Here we go.
Yes, let's go. Door 3 fort. CrEgg took on... Well, technically, he might have been able to get up row with that, I think. If he had gotten that star, I think there would have been just barely enough time.
Yeah, it is tight. It is a tight one. And this is a case of your biggest time save is staying in the level. If you can keep yourself safe, if you can keep yourself going, maybe the star works, maybe it doesn't. He didn't want to wait for it. Maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't. But ultimately, the thing I like most about both of these guys is they are keeping themselves safe. They are keeping themselves in the level. They're keeping themselves right next to each other in terms of the race going. I mean, these guys are so tight, and it's a large part about them playing the levels just one time.
Yes.
So 3-2 up for CrEgg, and not an easy level to speed run to begin with. And now it looks like he's going to try to go without the lifts. Unfortunately, will not get a whole lot of satisfaction out of that.
Yeah, without the lift, it's all a matter of timing your jumps, because one mistimed jump and you are in the drink.
Absolutely, and without that P-speed strat, even with the P-speed strat, it's just not easy. So Wake is going to take a little bit more of a safer approach. Has the star, has the lift, has the tail. He's just in it for the ride.
All right, we do have one of our great Muncher Piranha stages. So let's see what we have here. A star. Well, I guess it's good for other Hammer Brothers fights. We could look at it that way, with optimism.
Absolutely, Silver Cloud lining and all. So I find this a little interesting. The item set has been remarkably different from the first race that we saw. I mean, we saw clouds and hammers galore in the first. Now we're seeing a lot less items from both of runners, and quite frankly, they've not been all that impressive.
No, not at all. These are some of the most weak sauce items that I've seen in quite a while.
Yeah, absolutely. World 5 airship on the side of Wake, as he is going to be looking for the fight with Ludwig here in just a moment. The pipe is getting to him a little bit, but honestly, for both of these runners, just barely over 3.5, 4 minutes for World 7 is not bad. And there's still a little bit left to play. I mean, we're just now getting through halfway, but it's anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, they're within, less than a level away from each other, and that's what makes it great.
Okay, it looks like CrEgg is going to go ahead and adhere to the see a fort, play a fort strategy. I do not blame him for this at all. And with it being 6F2, he's now got the tail. He's going to be pretty well able to optimize this.
Yeah, that's when you pick up a golden ring and you start flying faster than Sonic, just to get this way out of the way.
Absolutely. Wake says, nope. I love this risky strategy. Oh, we have a divergent.
Wait a second here.
CrEgg is about to tell us what we all need to know. It is the right fortress. Wake is in the wrong fortress.
Oh no, that was what stalled out CrEgg last game, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and this is what's happening to Wake right now.
I'm going to be that guy, but if we want a best of 3, this is exactly what needs to happen. I mean, Wake has been on his tail the entire time, and CrEgg's got to get lucky with a 50-50, and so far he has. So CrEgg has to keep that up, and if he can keep this all the way to the end, he's got this. But it's a randomizer. It gives and it takes away.
Yeah, because we saw the lead change in World 5 or 6 last game, so you really want to hopefully have a really huge lead that you can afford, a slight error. Very slight.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the 50-50s tend to be much more powerful than just a slight mistake because of how much it could affect. I mean, the fact that Wake had to go all the way back to the finish, or finish off the 6F2, and then go back to where he was. He's got another level he has to play on top of finishing off 6F2, and then go to the castle. Well, we have CrEgg already in that castle. He's going to be moving on to World 6. Jack, get your guesses in. What do you think it is? But that is going to be a huge thing. And now if he has just one hiccup on a level, he still has a 1.5, 2 level lead over Wake.
Yes.
But one thing you can't do is take your pedal or your foot off the pedal, because that is going to give Wake the chance to catch up. I mean, Wake in 610 had like 3 gulps in a row from that big boss bass. And if he doesn't, if he's able to come back after that, he is going to be able to come back again. So you cannot let off the pressure. You still have to continue to play your game. CrEgg's going to go ahead and avoid the first fort, though. I don't know. We'll see.
The disappointing news that there is a bridge needed.
All right, Zero Wing says he feels like it's a mistake. I think this is right. I think if he doesn't find World 1 Fortress here, I think he's got it.
And it sure isn't that. It's the Donut Fort. So everybody bring out your Dunkin' Donuts, your Krispy Kremes, and where else they sell donuts that I don't know about, in honor for our lovely Donut Fort.
CrEgg not having enough speed there will take a little bit of damage from that Boo, who was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, being a little rebellious.
Alright, and Boom Boom has bit the dust.
All right, well, we will see. It is.
And
So,
away we
CrEgg,
go.
once again with the 50-50 on the side of CrEgg, that is going to do it. Let's see what Wake does here. So now Iggy, everybody's favorite because he's just a jerk. But he is going to take quite a few hits, and CrEgg not messing around. 4 shots, not going for the fireballs, not going for any of that. Just says, hey, you know what? I got your number. We got this.
Yes. And now, CrEgg is entering the final frontier.
Absolutely.
Which is World 7, which is going to be his World 7, but we all know what world it is. It's Waterworld.
And it looks like an anchor came up on the side of CrEgg. I don't know that we've seen it this one so far. Last seen it was a mushroom.
So CrEgg is doing some Dora the Explorer action going, and we do see that double hammer strat.
Is this going to be a free world 3? There's a lock there, and there's a fort to the right. We've already seen the 3 fortresses, I believe. So unless this is a 3-fort world 3, which I don't believe... There it is.
Oh wow. Just like last game, a completely free last world. The only difference is CrEgg is not behind the 8 ball this time.
Every 50-50, every mistake in the last game has come out to a absolute win in this seat. I mean, he has come back firing. Did not like the fact that he got caught up in 3 forts in the World 6. Didn't like that he got caught up in World 1 and World 8. CrEgg absolutely looking to force Game 3 here. I hope he gets it. I hope he gets it. Wendy was chunky, but not much more, so we got a $1 menu or value menu bacon cheeseburger, I think.
What are you predicting for Growl? Are you predicting how many bridges?
I gotta go with Dose this time. I gotta go with 2. I gotta see something a little bit more tricky that really calls out our runners, but I want something kind of more mid-level. Let's go 2.
Gotta go with either 4 or -1 because we definitely need chaos. And look at all these army stages. And this is a legit seed.
We got a valid.
I rolled the valid seed. Okay, I can wear that as a badge of honor, you know, just because we got the true fort for World 8.
Oh, this is getting exciting for sure. This is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Oh man. And if it's -1, there's hope. There's hope for it to be -1 so far. Oh man. Imagine Growl -1 actually being in this seed.
I would have just about seen everything at that point.
Oh, here we go. So far, both of the military options have been forts. So now we are in the Forgotten Disco Fort, and we're either breaking locks or building bridges with these.
Air Force on the side of Wake911 just seems fitting at this point. I mean, there's been some vanilla, but not a bad thing. I think this has been a very good seed for both of our runners so far, just seeing the level of play that they are at. And even though it's been 33 minutes so far, these guys have played very well.
Yes, they really have. And we have the third fort as the Escalator of Shame fort. Absolutely fabulous.
Now, this is going to be maybe a little too soon, but we've got Wake911 who's still trying to figure out where the right pipe is to Windy. We've got CrEgg who's been in World 8 for several minutes so far, so it's really looking like CrEgg has a good chance here. So what that means is if we get a game 3, the match will be a tourney bracket, all question marks minus forts. So that means no hammers breaking locks. That means no in-card games, but we're going to have question marks. So those 10 panels that we've been looking for to see how many fortresses roughly that we have, no longer going to be a factor.
Yep. And if chat noticed, as well as you, Growl, there was a green cloud on CrEgg's side when he went to go play the lovely Escalator Shame Fort. And that was because he tried to use his anchor. And it turned out that anchors are Jugum clouds.
Very interesting. The item set here has been very confusing, I think. It's not been very clear for our runners. I mean, I think the double hammer play from CrEgg probably was the greatest thing of items we've seen so far, and that's been about it. We've had no other real clear-cut options.
Absolutely. And, you know, when it comes to causing confusion, that usually is a blame crystal type of thing.
I love it. It has given us, for me personally, I love coming races like this because it really shows how complicated this gets, especially for our runners. I mean, you have to figure out your inventory on the fly. You have to figure out the maps on the fly. You have to figure out all of this stuff. And for commentary, I got the easy job. I just get to sit here and figure it out based on what the runners are doing and what we're seeing on the map. I mean, this is incredible.
Now, we do have CrEgg opting not to cloud. Yeah, CrEgg does have one cloud left, and we were in one of the beta levels. But I wonder if that's maybe because he doesn't know the route yet for 8. What do you think? Because that's the only reason I can see him completing these levels, so that way he doesn't have to worry about, having to play it at some point.
I think you're absolutely right in that regard. I don't understand not using the cloud there, because if you had the cloud and you don't have to come back that way, or if you do have to come back that way, sure, don't use it. You may need it later. But the fact that CrEgg has seen nearly all the routes so far, I'm not sure I understand that. Maybe he was just doing a ditch defensive effort, like maybe I missed something.
That's the only thing I'm fathoming as being the cause, because I was scratching my head on that too. If you have a cloud, you use it. And, if he did use the cloud, it would have been awesome.
So it looks like there were several of the clouds available to CrEgg and just never a good place to use it. I think with some of the levels we saw up front, you're almost scared if 5-9 comes up, if Atlantis comes up, if some of those come up, then sure, you want to make sure you have a cloud for that. But that anchor, they took a long time figuring out what that was. And maybe that cost them a little bit. Maybe that was enough for Wake to come back. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I mean, CrEgg had some really good calls there for the 50-50s. Anybody's guess.
Yeah, and with that P-Wing opting to go through the door, hopefully will not get sniped by a random fireball that just decides to want to hit you in the face.
And I love what CrEgg did there. That is such an unknown strategy that CrEgg did. If you crouch fly with a P-Wing on the fireball room, you cannot be hit. Those fireballs cannot be that close to the ceiling. So he had a perfect strategy there. Didn't even go for the clip. He knew what item he had, and now he's going to go for Bowser's jump, and he's just hoping that he doesn't see the dun from Wake, which he won't. Obviously, we've got a 5F1 that we're having to deal with here on Wake's side. So this is in the bag for CrEgg. One more jump, get your GGs in.
Yeah, GG's to CrEgg.
And folks, just like that, Game 3 will be starting in moments.
Yeah. Now, since I got to roll, you got to roll. You know who I think should roll for Game 3? Diesel.
I agree with that. Diesel has been behind the scenes this entire time, has been pushing buttons, opening rooms, getting things together and in place for everyone. I mean, huge shout out to SpeedGaming and specifically Diesel Pilot, who has been working with us on behalf of SpeedGaming for just putting on an exceptional performance. I mean, literally would not be here if it weren't for him.
You know it. And Diesel is so awesome. You know, one of the best free streamers out there. And who couldn't have asked for a better boss for this game than Diesel? See, we're showing Diesel love. So if you want to put in chat, you know, like a little heart emoji or just like a bro or a thumbs up for Diesel, that would be awesome. Because now we have Game 3. And it's ironic. We were just talking about that earlier, Growl, when we were saying that usually the runner will win his own seed, but Wake won CrEgg's seed flags, and CrEgg won Wake's seed flags. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were talking about knowing your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. I mean, at this one, I think it really helped both these guys, both being warpless runners. So SMB3 runners, we love seeing that. We love bridging that gap. Randomizer just adds an extra layer of spicy onto this. And we're seeing that. You know, Wake is a fantastic runner. We've seen that. A lot of it comes to the item management, the item inventory, and then jumping into the 50-50s, and if you get those right, you've probably got it. At this class of and this caliber of runner, it very well could come down to a single 50-50 that determines the match. And I mean, we pretty well have seen that so far.
Yeah, and you know, I'm so glad to be coming this with you, just like the good old days. And look at that, we brought on a great, you know, matchup for everyone who's in chat, and we're getting a Game 3.
Could not be better. The comm has been a load of fun. It's been so much fun being on the commentary with you in chat. I hope you're enjoying it as well. We're having a blast here. We hope you are also. And buckle up. We're getting ready for a Game 3 here soon.
Yeah, we're gonna see some duking out. Oh man, it's gonna be awesome. So now we get to hydrate again. So if you need to do some stretches, get a little hydration action going, now would be a great time to do it.
And our runners will be taking just a moment as well. So do come back. We'll explain the tiebreaker, because this, of course, is not going to be anybody's choice. This was determined as the default for tiebreaker matches on both sides. So both on Challenge Cup and the brackets that we'll see on the other side. And we'll get that all explained here. So don't go, well, do go somewhere. Be back in just a minute or two. We'll get everything started, set up, and ready to go.
Till next time.
And we are back. Our runners are set up and ready to go. We will be releasing the hounds, so to speak, in just a moment. In the meantime, we are going to go ahead and get the setup and get everything good to go for game 3, because this is going to be an exciting one and not going to favor anybody.
Nope, not at all. What this means is that both runners are literally fighting for their right to stay in this tournament, and they are showing it. Wow, they have been just. I said, chat, we were in for a slobberknocker, did I not? And we got that because we are on game 3. The runners are probably chomping at the bits. And we started off with 6 gang.
So what this means, and as you're seeing it already on the very first look at the overview of the map, the overmap, is we have the flags for the 3rd seed default to tourney bracket. The only difference is questions are on all the levels except for forts. So the forts is going to be the only thing that's not obviously question mark, but that means we're not going to have any idea, any knowledge of where the fortresses are, how many fortresses there will be, and our runners are going to have to figure that out the old-fashioned way. So the risky plays and strategies not really going to amount here. This is going to be a very interesting set because both of our runners did very well with the brackets. This could get interesting.
Yeah, and it also affects you in a routing perspective because you can usually use the, land terrain format to kind of dictate, okay, this is how many forts, this is how I'm going to route this, and let's hope for the best. Now it is just a wild card aplenty.
Absolutely, and both of our runners, I'm sure, are just chomping at the bit here. Wake911 working hard to not let that reverse sweep happen, whereas CrEgg is like, hey, I'm fired up, I'm ready to go, and no pun intended. I mean, I know he's Fire Mario, but still, the point is, oh, there's Atlantis.
Atlantis! Bravo, it's about time. Good job, Diesel. You bought the crowd what they needed. Now all we need is the other option to be 5'9", which means that they are gatekept by an auto-scroller.
Absolutely. Fortunately for our runners, I think, maybe not so much fortunate for ours, it's not going to be required, but I think just seeing it is normally enough to give anybody a slight of pace to have to redo that. And unfortunately, it looks like Wake is going to take an early exit and have to restart his level. But it's either that or Atlantis, so might as well go back.
I say do Atlantis. Why not? Atlantis is, the Zelda games, Spiral Cave and Hera Basement. It is a loved destination for our runners. And our runners can't get enough of Atlantis 5'9", 7'5", 6'6", and a small Mario 7'1".
I think you mean the viewers can't get enough of that. Because I don't know, I'm not convinced I like that.
And I would make a seed that has those levels as the first 5 levels that you will play. No power-ups, no nada.
Oops, all pain.
It's a fun seed. I make fun seeds. Anyone in chat who has ever played a seed of mine knows that they are absolutely fun. Fun, fun, fun. And, ooh. Well, on CrEgg's side, what do we have there?
Yeah, it looks like a little 6'5" action here. He's going to have to take 2 pipe jumps to get that tail, and then he is going to be onto the races to see if he can get up without any further damage with these giant enemies. That's not going to be easy to do.
No, not at all. But the giant enemy set does make for a better experience, because you can't say you didn't see your enemy, because they're right there.
You are not wrong. There is not a lot you can miss on that. And looks like Wake911 going all the way to the end to be able to get into that last pipe. That actually does go from anywhere. So if you are trying to play this level, you can go just about anywhere that has a pipe in this level and get there. So a little bit of a cheat hack there for you, I guess. But
wait a second. Do I smell a beta?
I think you sure do. We got the ice capades on the side of CrEgg. Not a terribly complicated level. Not a whole lot of enemy sets. One that a lot of the runners will just blow through quickly. So pretty welcome sight, I'm sure.
You know, if we need a beta level, we need the beta level that they can't die out of, and that is Niagara Falls. You know, it's long, and you have to do lots of swimmy action, and there's no way really to escape it.
I think we need that as a hand level stage.
That would be great! Oh, a gatekeeping one at that.
Yeah, if you're going to get to it, you got to get through it.
This is why we mesh so well, Growl. You get me on an existential level.
I think that just means we're both sadists.
Oh, no! What? No!
Who else?
No! Chat knows that I am innocent. Just an innocent person that just loves for people to have fun.
Well, we're sure having a blast here, so hopefully chat is as well. We'll see if the fanfare comes up. It will not.
Smart on CrEgg's move. Wake did get the fanfare because, you know, was running real short on them their lives. So it was like, you know, I needed an emergency drop shipment of lives and took the fanfare.
This may be a hot take, but it seems like CrEgg, his success has literally been all the way drilled down to World 6. I mean, World 6, the only time he got out of World 6 last was the very first seed when he ended up playing all three fortresses, and Wake virtually took a free World 6. So, I mean, a little bit... Okay, I thought CrEgg was getting lost up on the big top of the screen. Having just a little bit of a problem there, but no,
so
CrEgg is...
5-hitting, levitating Lemmy.
Yeah, this is complicated for CrEgg. I do not envy him.
Ew, that's rude. Diesel, you are my hero right now. This is a rude Lemmy.
You are not kidding. And now going back into World 2's airship is CrEgg, but who's already there is Wake911. This is going to be a change of leadership. So
Yeah,
the commentator's curse lives on.
Yeah, and see, the difference is Wake was able to get the fire kill, so he did not get to experience the awesomeness of a levitating 5-hit Lemmy.
And the juggling bouncy circus balls there as well did not help CrEgg. Fireflower will help hopefully here, but he's got to get going on that fire kill. He's got to get a little bit closer and get some of those to hit, or else he's going to be in the exact same spot he was last time.
Which is now.
Oh, this is terrifying for CrEgg. I mean, I had just said that World 6 was his kryptonite, and we are seeing that come true once again.
Yeah, and this is a gatekeeping Lemmy.
Oh, this is
and
terrifying.
because he didn't get enough fireballs in, you know, we're looking at a minimum of 3 stomps. Yikes. While dodging a whole bunch of balls that want to kill you.
I never thought I would say this, but I think I'd rather have a Wendy than that Lemmy right now. That is not okay.
Oh, Diesel's making me proud. Oh, Diesel! Diesel, my friend! You are giving us what we want! But that was some supreme dodgeball skills by CrEgg.
Absolutely, and now Wake911 not even gonna go for the flyover. He's gonna play through as he's supposed to. But this World 1, if you look at that overmap, is not friendly. It is going to be extremely long for our runners to try to get through here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at best you've got 3 levels at the top. One's a fortress, and then you've got another level where World 1 fortress is normally. And if the fortress breaks the rock on the right, you're gonna have to play through those as well.
It's time the jump strat. I just was about to say the jump strat worked, and then, well, CrEgg went into the drink.
Wake is now into the super tanks. We'll take a little bit of damage there to go for a P-speed strat, so very nicely done. And that will be the end of it for the super tanks on his side. Diesel Pilot with the clip. Epic Lemmy fight for sure. I mean, absolutely gnarly. And finally was able to get through it, no problem. But, well, I take that back. It was a problem. That was a big problem. Oh, Diesel, you are hired for every seed from here on out that I'm going to be on commentary with, because that is a required 5-9 that our runners would have to play through, except a Jugun Cloud will come out for Wake911, but still, a required 5-9. I love it.
No, Diesel, you are my hero. You are my hero today.
That means Wake911 has to be very careful here. If he takes a death to the sun, to any of these rogue turtles, if he goes for any of that, that could be a problem.
Yes. Oh, I think we're cursing everybody.
I was hoping.
5-9, let's go.
That is, oof. Let's go with that. Oof. That is a loss of a cloud. That means that he is going to have to play 5-9 again. And without that extra item, I mean, that means he's going to have to go through this the old-fashioned way. CrEgg takes one look and says, no, I think I'm okay.
You know what? I would get a power-up. Yeah, smart idea. Because you never know what your next level is going to be. So you definitely want to have a power-up to deal with it. So you're going to Jugun Cloud through 5-9, which is unfortunate, but you will have something which will be able to take that hit. And this was why CrEgg's move was a better move.
Absolutely. What a heads-up play there to look at your inventory, realize, oh, that is awfully light. Let me at least get a mushroom or a frog or something to get into this next level so that I'm not immediately prone to being immediately disqualified from that map. Like, this was an outstanding play.
Yes. And we have Wake911 hot on the trail of CrEgg, literally.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys are so close right now. All that little bit of an upset that we had earlier where CrEgg couldn't get through Lemmy, it's gone. It's all gone. We have another lead change yet again. We're just in World 2. Five F2 now up for both runners, and probably the most remarkable thing about this entire game is that in the middle of these races, you always feel behind. I guarantee you both of our runners feel like they are behind right now.
Chat is saying something about my innocence. I'll have you know I can be canonized with the level of innocence and kindness I have. And there are a few in chat that can vouch for me. I think. I hope.
This is a maddening World 1. I mean, for 6 levels required, the only time you would play more than that is if you were playing a 100% run. And, oh, we've got a Hammer Bro. Is that going to be a factor?
No. If CrEgg had went to that mushroom house, CrEgg would have his Hammer Brothers suit.
Maybe. I don't know. Because I know a lot of it will change. It's a frame perfect thing. So where, depending on how you move and stuff, he may not necessarily get that.
That is true. and the stars did align for Wake. But holy machinations, that is going to be a big find and could lead to a snipe.
For sure. Absolutely. As close as these guys have been. If Wake is this close at the end and CrEgg doesn't seem to find another Hammer Brothers suit, that is going to be a problem. Yes, if it comes down to that suit. If it comes down to that suit. I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps. This is going to be extremely incredible to see what happens next. I mean, that's a star going into World 7. We've got a couple more worlds to go. So obviously there's chances for that Hammer Brother to come out. But I don't know. So now as both of our runners jump into World 7, we've got a couple of pipes right out the gate to see where are we going. All right, looks like CrEgg has the answer he's looking for, and that is Australia, the Promised Land, however you want to call it. I like to look at it like a world map, so that would be Australia down in the bottom right corner. Just like if you had it spread out, top left, North America, bottom right, Australia, fill in the details. But it looks like that's what we've got, and if CrEgg is able to beat this level, get into the fortress, and that is the correct fortress to break the lock right in front of the castle, Ludwig von Koopa coming up soon. So 6F2 on the side of Wake. We do have a divergent here. We have CrEgg on the side of 5F1, 6F2 that did not break a lock directly above where Wake was over in Europe. And Wake now in 6F1 is going to have to figure out if this is the right one or not. We have a divergent. If CrEgg is wrong, this is still up in the air.
Yeah. Or if CrEgg dies, then it's up in the air.
Absolutely. 2 forts on the right side, both in Asia and in Australia on our world map. And Wake's just going to have to figure this out. Oh. That'll be a bro on the side of Wake. That's an upside down orb.
Yeah, get your bros out. Get your bra, get your bruh. What is with that thwomp? That thwomp is just making his... Boy.
So Wake has found out that the lock in Europe is broken by that second fort that he played. So we know that...
Which means that this is a time sink for CrEgg.
Definitely, because either this lock is already broke for Wake, and he picked the wrong fort. Okay, Wake has the correct fort. He'll play through 1-4, and then that is it.
Oh dear. This is absolutely bad for CrEgg.
I would almost say that a game over here might be a better option for CrEgg, because if he took that game over, he'd be forced to restart and maybe have to try again. Unfortunately, I feel like he'd probably go through the same strat, but he is in the wrong fortress.
Yes, and is about to catch a fist of disappointment.
Absolutely. And now the first hand level stage I think we've seen in both, or in all 3 of the seeds. We'll see what we've got for this one. Okay, a magic wing. Not a bad item to have for sure. Definitely very valuable in the airships, as our runners are able to go after a wand grab off screen. That does save a few seconds at the end of the fight with the Koopalings, and does get you into the next world just that much quicker. So a star coming out for the Piranha plant on the left side over in Europe that CrEgg just found. This is the right fortress, so he should, hopefully, I know there's a lot of things going on here, but if CrEgg can see that that lock does not break directly above him, he will know that that's the end. So now he just has to backtrack and be right back to where he needs to be, whereas 911 is currently in the World 7 airship, in World 7, Ludwig von Koopa coming up next.
Yeah. Not too often do you see the ships as they're supposed to be for their respective Koopa kid.
Well, I cannot type, but that genie problem is absolutely correct. It's only World 3. Once again, 20 minutes in, and the seed is going to give us all heart attacks before we're done. So, well played.
Wow, it wasn't an earthquake, Ludwig, but it was a 5-hit high-flying Ludwig.
I think that's pretty well the cross we had from the beginning. Like, I wanted the vanilla, you wanted the high hitter, and we got it.
Yeah. The only thing that was missing was some earthquake action, you know? That way it keeps things ever so spicy.
I think we've got a lot of spice so far. I think here soon we're just going to blow our runners out. World 2 now up next for Wake, and there are 3 levels, including the fortress at the very beginning. So that pipe may very well be free. We'll see where it goes to next.
Yes, and if it is free, that spells absolute disaster for CrEgg.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, CrEgg is... he's definitely needing to come back here, and a good fight with Ludwig would be a very good thing. Definitely go for the power-ups here. Unfortunately, a star is not going to help you. First of all, because it's not going to last till the fight, and second of all, it does nothing in the fight. It keeps you safe, but that's about it, and it doesn't last long.
Yeah, there's no getting a bro from Ludwig. And wait till he finds out that this is a 5-hitting high-flying Ludwig. So there's always that risk of getting hitboxed.
Absolutely. I mean, he is taking just a little bit of a cautious approach, waiting until Ludwig opens up and then hitting Ludwig. And that's going to be the difference. And that is very well played, to be smart about it and know that you play it once and only once. That's it.
Yes. And right now, Wake is going through the stretchy boo fort with very friendly hot feet.
And we did see a loss of life from Wake just a little bit ago in the same level. So that will be a chance for CrEgg to catch up a little bit more in this race, which is definitely not over until World 8. Until Big Bowser has been found and fallen, this game is still on. We are not done.
No, and the levels that are getting generated are absolutely kind of horrible in terms of being able to speed through. Because the water levels, you know, it's kind of difficult. Because you have to do a lot of schwimmies.
Absolutely, and even this level, even though it doesn't have the auto-scroller on anymore, CrEgg is still not having a lot of luck with that enemy set. Still just being a problem. So both runners just trying to make their way through World 2. CrEgg now on his way through the Carpet Fort 6F3, and Wake has found that a tunnel will take him around that one level. So we won't know what it is, unfortunately, but that's quite all right. World 1's Fortress up next.
Fortunately for CrEgg, that death did not help at all in terms of trying to catch up, but that was one gatekeeping hotfoot. It was like, you shall not pass! So he didn't.
Absolutely. They are known as the Drunken Hotfoots for a reason. They are not nice, and they are going to make you have a bad time.
Here we go, chat. For those who are asking about Mega Man, Bass and Treble are together. That is the dog to Bass, and Rush is the dog to Mega Man. So think of it this way: it's his doggy. That's why their names go hand in hand, Bass and Treble.
I learned something new today.
Yeah, you know, I learned that from the cartoon and playing the game a bit. You know, you get into the Mega Man lore. So when I saw that remark from the king, I started just laughing internally.
I am going to have to stay out of this conversation because actually only until probably 2 years ago, I had never played Mega Man. So unfortunately, I don't know a whole lot about it.
Yeah, And if you go real deep into the lore, I'm not looking at chat right now, but I'm sure somebody probably mentioned it. Mega Man's original name was Rockman. And you can actually catch that in some really janky early console versions, which are absolutely, pretty bad. And that's why you have his sister, the female robot, known as Roll, because that's supposed to be rock and roll.
Yeah, actually, that Genie problem had just written that as well. But you guys, I am impressed. The level of knowledge here is real.
I got some of it from learning, the rest through the School of Hard Knocks.
So Wake is first into World 3 and had a little bit of a problem with 7-1, finally able to get through without any further issues. But that clip was not helping at all for him. CrEgg, meanwhile, just trying his best to get caught up here as quickly as he can.
Yeah, because literally CrEgg is playing against the clock. I mean, Wake missed a button push. Must have been.
No, I think he actually had too many button pushes. It looked like he went for a double kill on a Koopa Troopa there, and instead of getting the jump off the Koopa Troopa and the fire kill on the Big Boss Bass, it looked like those had reversed on him, and he took an unfortunate death there. That was insane. This level is cursed. And then he jumped on the Koopa yet again, bounced it backwards, took out the Big Boss Bass, but also took himself out when it came back. So he said, enough of that. I'm going to take a Jugum Cloud into a P-Wing, which was a fantastic idea, as he found 7F1 and will now not have to worry about it yet again. So unfortunate start for him, but still came out okay.
Yeah. And it's always good to have a little something for Fort Knox. Unfortunately, CrEgg does not have any P-Wings or any type of leaf or anything that can give flighties. So that's going to be a thing. Fort Knox is not going to be what he wants to see.
So 5 shots there for CrEgg on the 7-1. No big deal for him. And I thought I saw a P-Wing. I thought that was part of like a letter or something. What?
Huh?
Okay. I think CrEgg lost track of what he had because he did not have a second hammer.
And got sniper munched. Alright guys, Boss Bass has eaten. So, let's get our gulps out.
These runners have gone for almost 2 hours worth of running. So you can tell as our runners are starting to make a couple of mistakes, this is really starting to weigh on them. There is so much mentally exhausting that's going on here. I mean, there's so much mental exhaustion that our runners are just trying to keep going. There is so much going on here. And okay, we have a Cloud over 7F2. If that is a required level, he's going to have to play it again. I think we're at the point where this has become a match of attrition more than anything. I mean, our runners are fast, but they've also got to go through a lot of other things. This has now got to the point where they are absolutely running on fumes.
Yep. I would donate one of my Flintstone vitamins, but I don't think that's going to help them out.
Yeah, these guys are going to have to find something and dig real deep. They both have to believe that they're behind. They both have to believe that they are having to play way more aggressive to stay alive. These guys both want it immensely. I mean, for CrEgg to just be so far behind because of that lemming fight, and now Wake, who clouded the 7F2, which actually did not hurt. He's going to be able to get around that and not have to deal with it any longer. So these guys are great, but they have got to start figuring out how to get through this real quick.
This Wendy is only one hit. Oh man, this is definitely not looking good at all for CrEgg.
No, CrEgg's going to have to be a little smart with how he plays this here. He's going to find this is a dead end. And there is only one more one more pipe. It looks like, okay, CrEgg has it figured out now. So he's only about a level and a half, 2 levels behind, with Wendy being so easy. So World 6, 7, and 8 are still up to play. 30 minutes into this third and final match, we have a winner we will be crowning after this, and we have another Hammer Brothers suit. So that will not be a factor. CrEgg pushing down as well as his run button does turn him into the statue form, so he's got to get out of that before he can go through the pipe. Now Wake going for a P-speed strat here, see if he can fly. He will get it. Fortunately, it wasn't a pseudo, if you will, and he did actually get the P-speed so he could fly and not just immediately jump off the end, which would be funny.
Yeah. And CrEgg found that other hammer that he wished he had for the double hammer strat.
Well, thankfully that won't be a factor. If he hadn't played that and kept his hammer, he would have still had one. So we'll call it a wash at this point, just because. And that genie problem has a good question. I don't know if CrEgg has another cloud or one more than Wake. That'd be very interesting to see for sure.
No, I don't think he does. I don't remember seeing another Jukum cloud. But I know somewhere in chat is lurking Zero, who will probably correct me on that and just say, "You fool!"
Well, this is going to get interesting for sure. So I think very fittingly, we have the King's message on CrEgg's side that says, theoretically, this seed should be beatable.
And a free hammer suit from the princess.
That genie problem, I can totally relate to that. After being on comms for 3 races, you start to make things up. Like, wait, which one was the anchor? What was the anchor this time? What items do we have? What levels have we seen? And that'll be a French vanilla, I believe. But we've got basically a Fred here with 5-3 showing up in World 5.
Ah, Fred. Why make levels random? And
so 5-3, it looked like there was a portion of a sum there. I'm not sure that's going to come back out to play maybe later on in the level. But CrEgg doing his best to get through his pyramid stage, and Wake911 just trying to get through 5-3 as quickly as possible here. So both runners now just doing... Uh-oh.
Oh, that was unfortunate for CrEgg, having to journey back to get another beetle because he ran into the beetle with his beetle, and that's a cancel.
Absolutely, and I'm a little surprised he went all the way back because these Buzzy Beetles... Oh!
And takes the death on the ricochet. Yikes.
Highly unfortunate. And CrEgg is definitely needing some love here. Decides not to take any items here. Those are definitely a commodity he does not have a lot of. 2-1 not playing nicely for Wake as he's just trying to get onto these structures here.
And accidentally destroys his beetle. I think this is just exhaustion on CrEgg's side.
Oh, for sure. CrEgg is on the other side of the pond from us in America here. So he is running in, I believe, the eastern side, or the western side, which is very fortunate for him for sure, because that is about a 6-hour difference. So he's currently looking at about 8, 9, 10 o'clock here right now. And that is, I'm sure, starting to get to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna foresee a tilt coming up pretty soon. Because really, that's not a level you typically die on, the pyramid. Not that often.
Alright, so apparently it's 8 p.m. there, so thank you for the for the confirmation. CrEgg, you just have to hope that the mental exhaustion can kind of dissipate here in just a moment, because there's so much going on here and there's still worlds to play. Unfortunately, the time is starting to run out. We've got Wake, who's really putting the pedal to the metal. Unfortunately, invalid seed. So as much as fun as we've had here so far, not okay. It was not in World 8. It was close though.
This is no bueno. Oh man, invalid. But Diesel, you know what? We'll just call it a no logic seed. There we go. That's how we use as our escape in the Zelda community. You know, when something's really, really bad and has like zero logic to it, we'll just say it's no logic. So we'll just call this invalid seed a no logic seed because it is so painful and we love it.
Absolutely. And now with Wake taking on one more Hammer Brother, I think that's a very wise decision. You know, you've got still just a couple worlds to play, but the items have been very scarce.
Yeah.
Yeah, both runners having to do a lot with a little, and finally CrEgg through. Now that is going to be the end of it for him. We are now into 5-3, a little bit of a longer seed. Hopefully he can kind of use this time on a longer seed, not having to do a lot of changes, not having to make a lot of decisions, you know, kind of sort through some things that you've been thinking about. You've got 2 levels up top that you have to play, maybe a Boomerang Brother if you want to go for another item there. But you've got World 7 and then World 8, and we may see another 50-50 here. CrEgg's certainly not out of it, but he's definitely got to get back into it.
Yeah, right now, you know, with each passing level done by Wake, it's just looking, the curtain is slowly lowering down on CrEgg.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot left to play, but there's also a lot less to play than you would think. I know that sounds extremely contradictory, but I mean, you've got World 4 here. Can you catch up in World 4? Can you catch up in World 8? Can you make those 50-50s? I mean, there's going to be a couple more chances maybe for a 50-50, especially in like World 8. We call it the Great Equalizer for a reason. You know, we haven't really seen Wake have any kind of an issue with it. Is he going to fail out of World 8's Bowser Castle? Is he going to have problems? Is he going to have enough items for it? You know, what's going to happen? Is that going to be enough of a chance for CrEgg to come back and do something amazing with it? You know, we got a lot of questions still to answer, and all I can say is you got to stick around to find out.
And then we have another level that is kind of nasty to play as Small Mario. But we love it anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And if he's smart here, he'll be using his sound for that star because it will run out shortly after the music does. So if you're listening, you can start to gauge that correctly and appropriately. And what are you supposed to do there?
And a death on Wake's side, so that does leave a slight opening. Just slight.
Mark your calendars as today being the day a hammer would have helped in World 4. I don't know if Wake knows this strategy, but if he had used a hammer on the rock directly to the right of where he had just come up, he could avoid 6-5 or 6-6. He could be avoiding this level altogether and not have to waste his items for it.
Yeah, and I agree with this decision by CrEgg to use his Jugum Cloud right now. It's because he's already died, and honestly, he's playing on low level, almost to the point, you know, he's only got 2 lives. So you have to be real conservative.
So right there where that spade game is, there's a rock right there. And if Wake were to use his hammer on that... Oh no, he just used a hammer suit.
Ooh, Roy was high flying.
Is this
on CrEgg's side?
Is this the catch-up we wanted? Is this what we were looking for?
Oh dear. Oh dear. The use of the hammer.
Yeah, the Hammer Brother suit here, I don't understand. I don't know that he knows that the hammer will break that rock and actually allow you to go around. Wake911 deep into 6-6 is definitely problematic. Another death here is going to make him start to wonder. And if CrEgg can use that hammer to his advantage, I mean, I've seen some really good levels of knowledge out of CrEgg, and if he knows that that hammer breaks that rock, that could be the turning point of this game. These runners are nearly neck and neck at this point.
This is why I said it's a level you don't really want to play as small Mario, because 6-6 is mean. It's so mean.
Absolutely. And 6-6 doing 6-6 things. I mean, that hammer has got to be used. And Wake has got to use that hammer there because this enemy set is nearly impossible to beat. He saw it. CrEgg has seen it. We have a leadership change.
Let's go!
Vaporeon Lover, you're absolutely right. This just got so interesting. We have another lead change for what, the 80th time today?
I know, right? And, you know, CrEgg was the right size for that level because, you know, the windmill level, it's always good to be spicily small. Also, okay, Wake has finally made it through that gauntlet of flowers.
This is intense. Not like this. Not like this. 34 years, and this game still continues to astound.
Oh no, and CrEgg just had an unfortunate death. Now we are even Steven.
This is crazy. Our runners are going to be basically one level apart, 5-5 on CrEgg's side, and if he can beat it this time, that's going to be extremely good for him. I mean, he's going to keep that one level advantage going into World 8 here in just a little bit.
Pew! Zero. Remember who's commentating? I'm the chicken overlord of Z2. If there was a way that I could have brought chickens to this, oh man, we could turn this into a Toho game. Oh, Grout. Yeah, just to give you insight into that. I'm kind of notorious for some unknown reason in the Z2 community because I support these ninja and fire throwing. The enemy set is called the Foca, and it's that they throw knives at you, or they, you know, and then we have some spicy chickens which breathe a lot of fire at you, and they exist. And the best part of it is they will end you with a couple of hits or even one hit. So if I thought I could bring this to Super Mario Brothers 3, oh man, that would be awesome.
That's starting to sound like a crowd control randomizer.
Crowd? Ooh, I wonder if I should make something like that.
All right, as Krista continues to muse about how we can make our runners' lives even more difficult, we've got CrEgg currently in World 2 Fortress and looking good so far. Both runners having just a little bit of issues with their levels, but really just keeping the same pace.
Yeah, and on Wake's side, Wake did have an unfortunate death, so playing this one really slow and steady. Meanwhile, CrEgg is just barreling along.
For sure. 43 minutes in, the majority of runs we see are no longer than like 36 minutes. And that just shows how grueling the seed has been. If there's been something notorious or dangerous in this level, or this world, or the seed, we've seen it.
And what excellent placement of those hammer bros. Just, you know, sleep them and they're done. Good to go.
Absolutely. CrEgg with a lot of really good heads-up play there. That is a fantastic way to get back into this. You're diving deep. You're going straight down, finding the last ounce of strength that you have, the last mental focus that you've got, and you're just trying your best to take out Bowser first. And that's going to be the end of Iggy after one hitbox shot. We're going to World 8. Get your guesses in chat. What's your bridge count? What about you, Krista?
Either 4 bridges or -1. Why not have 4 bridges? This is the perfect seed to have 4 bridges. And you know, my -1 gang, you know you want to see some locks too.
I'm going to have to pick the one that I haven't seen in chat yet, and that's 3. I think 3 is almost as chaotic, and I think would still work perfectly here. A couple clouds coming out for our runners, but I think I got it. Oh, what is that?
You shall not pass.
This is looking extremely linear, so not going to be 3 or 4 yet, as we saw 2 locks already. But still, ew.
This is great. This is just great.
All right, now into the dark room. It looks like we've got a Navy as well as an airship. So we'll see if... Oh, Wake's got to be a little careful there. But CrEgg now in the Navy. We'll see what happens there.
Yes, get your salutes out there, chat. We're saluting Bowser's army, the hardest working guys in the military. Whew!
Yeah, you got to give credit to Bowser on this one. He has thrown so much at our runners this time. I mean, the levels, the monster sets have been atrocious. All right, a little interested to see that CrEgg hasn't gone for that Air Force yet. He wants the recon game first. And honestly, I love it. You know, you have not seen... Okay. Interesting.
And we have lava donut fort. Let's go.
So we have not seen anything except for 2 locks so far, which means 2 bridges is still possible. I am very interested to see, because we've got CrEgg currently in a fortress. We've got Wake just playing a level, I suppose. Not really sure why he's playing this, because I believe it's a hand stage, and I don't think it goes anywhere. So, kind of interesting.
I think Wake had some issues with hand stages where he just gets burned so much by them. And more military action. Let's go. It's the Air Force. We have our Rocky Wrenches out there tossing wrenches, trying to do their job, serving their country, which is Bowser's domain. You gotta love them.
So the Navy and the Air Force both making their appearances at World 8, which is complicated enough. And now we've only seen 2 locks, one of which has already been broken by the Navy here. I want to see a divergent. I feel like this could get really interesting really fast if we can see a divergent. Because I feel like, isn't there a pipe on the left side of the hand bridge that hasn't been played yet?
Was there?
I don't recall, but I'm very interested to see what happens next for our runners, because I feel like somebody needs to find Bowser's Castle here. Wake not playing any more fortresses yet. Okay, we've got our divergence. 2 bridges. Okay, this is really interesting. Yeah, we've got 2 pipes on the left side. I don't know if we've seen them yet. We've got Wake now going to the top side of the Dark Fort, finds himself in 8 Fortress. And then we've got CrEgg, who's still playing the pipe game, whereas he has played several fortresses. So at this point, the biggest thing that we have from Wake is that he needs to find the fortresses up front first, whereas CrEgg needs to figure out where Bowser is.
Yes. But Wake does have the definite advantage in that he was in no mode before CrEgg. And now CrEgg has entered no mode. So, whew!
So we just saw a brief glimpse at Bowser's Valley from CrEgg, who has already completed 1 fortress. So now Wake is at the end of World 1 or World 8's fortress, which means if this is correct, he's got 1 more to find before CrEgg beats this and goes back and finds Bowser's Valley, if this is the correct one. And I believe it is. I don't know that there's any other fortresses, and Zero Wing just confirmed that for me. So
no, there's no more, I don't think.
So CrEgg should be finishing up here, and Wake has to get the right guess here. So if he plays 1 fortress and then goes and looks, that might be okay. But if he plays both here, he has to hope that CrEgg does not get through Bowser's Castle the first time.
Well, CrEgg does have his hammer suit, so that is a thing.
Absolutely, but a lot of it comes down to the clips. It comes down to, can you keep that hammer suit? I mean, we've got a lot to go, and if Wake plays a little bit aggressive here, he needs to go back and check, because that is correct for CrEgg. The hammer suit comes out. It's time. Wake going back now. He's going to go find Bowser's Castle. If he has the right fortress, if that is the gatekeeper, this is going to be a fight to the finish.
Yeah, literally seconds apart. And as I said that, the dream was not realized.
The 50-50 was wrong for Wake. Now, it's all in CrEgg's hand. Wake has one more level to play. The Air Force comes out for Wake. That is the final fortress. And depending on what CrEgg does here, if he can't get the clip, if he loses his Hammer Brothers suit, if he unfortunately takes the death here, that could be enough for Wake to come back in. This game's not over.
Yes, and you know, unfortunately, and as you mentioned,
okay, that's going to be a small Mario, likely not going to be a factor. If that second if that fortress he had played first was correct, he would have been pushing to see if he could take a snipe out of this from CrEgg. But it looks like this is probably going to do it unless something crazy happens. And we have seen some crazy seats, so Wake would have to be... We would have to have a death here from CrEgg in order for this to be even a remote possibility. But 7-2 is going to come out for Wake, not even checking for a cloud. I'm not sure if he even has one, but that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner of our best of three match today is going to be CrEgg SMB3. Get your GGs in chat for an all-around outstanding run. I couldn't have asked for more.
oh, I mean, like really, it was awesome. And Wake did have a hammer suit as well, so it could have been a snipe situation.
Yeah, it very well could have been if he was able to get to the correct fortress, cloud, and then immediately get into Bowser's Castle. You get a clip that your opponent doesn't. That's the game. We have seen that so many times.
Yes. And CrEgg is giving us gratuitous Boss Bass eating a soon-to-be invincible Mario. And, oh wow, Growl, did you see that? The fireballs! And an unfortunate death for Wake.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, that will do it for us here. We're going to see if we can get the runners in, but Wake will go ahead and take the forfeit, as that is the end of it for him. And that fireball was not friendly.
No, that fireball room basically said no hammers allowed.
What an incredible match. GG's all around for both of our runners. How incredibly tough that was. Wow.
I can't even tell you. And they fought, and hello.
Hello.
How you doing, Wake? And GG to you too, CrEgg.
Thank you.
Yeah, great work, CrEgg.
Yeah, I was that World 2, that third seed. I definitely thought I would have lost that, because I think I died probably more times than I have in the last 10 rando runs I've actually done. It was tough, that third one.
Yeah, it was very tough. I died a bunch in 6-6, died a bunch in another level, and then towards the end I was just, man, he hasn't clicked done yet. Maybe I'm still alive.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, after World 6, I was like, oh, you're definitely World 8 by now, surely. And then I was like, it wasn't fun to play, really. I think I tilted about 10 times.
Agreed. No, that was a great race. Great race.
I almost hate to be the bearer of bad news, but in the very last race, in the very last world, I believe, when you were having problems with 6-6, Wake, there is a way to get around that. If you break that rock directly to the right, directly above the spade, you could have gone around that.
Oh yeah, I had
man.
I had a spare hammer. I was like, well, there's no more worlds to do, so I'm just going to do that. So I didn't even attempt to play that level. So I'm glad you now told me that was 6-6. So yeah, I hate 6-6. It's one of
And
Yeah,
one of
it
those
was a
nightmare
bad.
ones.
It was a bad enemy set too. It was tough.
yeah,
No.
it was brutal. It was absolutely horrible. Fire everywhere.
I think the second seed in 6-6 there was 3 fire piranha plants in a row, which I managed to somehow not even touch one of them. So I got a bit lucky in the second race. But yeah, I think overall I'm exhausted after those 3. I'm not gonna lie.
Can we talk, Craig, about that excellent dodgeball strat you used against Lemmy as Small Mario?
Wow, yeah, that's what kind of tilted me to begin with, because I think it took me about 9 minutes to do World 1, and the first time I took a P-Wing in, I was like, okay, 1 hit, 2 hit, and I was like, why do I keep touching the balls and not Lemmy? And then I went back into it again with a frog suit, and yes, I know, I avoided him by inches. Oh wow, that was a close
Yeah,
call.
it was. And someone clipped it as well, Craig.
Oh
So you get to.
no. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it will go down in the annals of speed gaming history as an epic dodgeball match between you and Lemmy, with you coming out as the victor.
Yeah, a 5-hitter on the World 2 ship is quite difficult because when he goes to that left side, you can't touch his head. He's like buried within the floor. So I think that's probably one of the hardest times to play Lemmy, when he's on that ship.
Yeah. No, yeah, and the fact that, he was levitating, which did not help you as Small Mario. You
Oh
know,
no.
we felt for you. And that windy battle was even worse.
Yeah. Trying to fire kill Wendy. I seem better when I just stomp kill Wendy, but with fire kill Wendy, all my fireballs just seem to go straight through her.
And yeah, that's exactly what happened. Wendy was just catching you, and that really was what dampened you big time in the first game, was that gatekeeping Wendy. And but I know you guys must be tired. Growl, should we kind of give our guys some much needed rest?
I think so. You guys have put on just an incredible race today, so thank you so much for that. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I'm out of coffee. My goosebumps are finally starting to abate, but thank you so much for an incredible run. Very well done.
Yeah, GG's Wake. I know this is your first tournament, but yeah, you're a very tough competitor.
Hey, thanks a lot for saying that, and great luck in the next round. And thanks for the commentary, folks. Always appreciate it. This has been a great experience, and I can't wait to tune in for the next rounds.
Yes, we can't wait as well. And I wish you the best. It was pleasant seeing you play Wake911, 911. You will be back with a vengeance. CrEgg, can't wait to see what you do later on.
Absolutely. You guys put on a really incredible show, and for Wake, for that to be your first showing in a tournament, I can't wait to see you come back next year. Honestly, you both have just really put on an excellent performance today.
I just have to learn to beat 6-6. It's been my downfall in about half my races.
I think I need to learn how to do was it 4F1? I think I died about 2 times right at the end. I was like, I don't know what happened. I think I was probably feeling a bit of like anxiety and like thinking I was behind, and when you feel like you're behind, you kind of like try and push it a little bit further than you normally do.
Yeah, for sure. There's not a runner that I'm aware of who ever feels like they're ahead. It seems
No.
like every single person that's in the randomizer feels like they're behind from World 1.
I think in the second race, I'm not sure if Wake managed to do it, but I managed to double hammer World 4 in the second race, which I felt if you did the same, then obviously it'd be evens. But if you didn't, that would have been the biggest swing I would have thought.
Don't remember Wake using the double hammer strat, so no.
I did not.
I thought I actually had double hammer in World 4 for the third race, but I went to hammer the first rock, then I went to get the hammer. I was like, oh no, I don't actually have a secondary one.
Yeah, you left us all scratching our heads. We were like, well, one hammer is better than no hammer, so I guess we broke the rock for fun.
All right, well, with that, we are going to go ahead and start closing it up here. Over on Speed Gaming 3, we have Nobly the Foreign taking on Antlers 44. So if you want more SMB3 action, jump on over there. Definitely go check them out. That's going to be an incredible race. And then later today at 8 p.m. Eastern, we've got Trace Spire versus Sharky, 2107. That's going to be another fine one. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, Demon Battler takes on Haxaplex. So some really exceptional runs coming up later today. Over on the brackets tomorrow, we've got the Classic 188 versus Scarface Nico at 3 p.m. 4 p.m. we've got Dust Minion versus Glutamic. And then at 5 p.m. we've got Ibuba versus Stewie Cartman. So a lot of extremely good races this weekend. Do tune in. Be a part of those for sure. You're not going to want to miss anything.
I'm with you 100%. Thank you again to our wonderful runners. You gave us one heck of a show. I am so happy that I got to commentate this greatness with the one and the only, the legend, woo, Growl Wolf. And thank you, Diesel, for making all of this happen. You are beyond awesome. And thanks to chat for watching. You guys, we wouldn't be here without you.
Very well said. And Speed Gaming for sure for putting this all on, all the admins and everybody else that does all the behind the works team. We get the glory, they do all the work, but we definitely want to give credit to where it's due. So thank you for being a part with us today. We appreciate you spending a portion of your day with us. With that, we will let you go. Have a great Saturday. Until next time, keep randomizing, keep racing. Take care.
Take care.